Watching the Queen of the Court segment again, the matchup between Lauren Betts and Gabriela Jaquez immediately stood out. From the start, you could see Lauren establishing control of the game. She played with patience and confidence, getting to her spots without hesitation, and making it difficult for Gabriela to find a defensive solution. Early in the matchup, Lauren was able to score comfortably inside the paint, while also showing the ability to step out and create space when she needed it. That combination of size, footwork, and touch gave her multiple ways to attack. Gabriela Jaquez competed hard, but Lauren's versatility made it extremely difficult to slow her down. By halftime, the score had already grown to 8-1 in favor of Lauren Betts, which really set the tone for the rest of the matchup. Once Lauren established that early lead, she stayed composed and continued to control the pace of the game. She didn't rush possessions or force difficult shots. Instead, she stayed disciplined and kept applying pressure. Gabriela deserves credit for the way she competed throughout the matchup. She had an excellent overall tournament and showed toughness on both ends of the floor. But in this particular matchup, Lauren Betts simply had the advantage offensively, and Gabriela struggled to consistently contain her. As the game continued, Lauren maintained that same focus and confidence. She kept attacking when the opportunity was there and stayed patient when the defense tried to adjust. That consistency eventually led to the final result. When the matchup ended, Lauren Betts won 15-5, clearly demonstrating why she is such a difficult player to defend. Her combination of size, skill, patience, and scoring ability makes her one of the most challenging matchups in women's basketball. At the end of the segment, Lauren Betts was crowned Queen of the Court, and it was great to see her teammates celebrating the moment with her. The excitement and support from the rest of the team really showed the chemistry and culture within the program. Lauren also took a moment to give a shout-out to Charles Leger-Walker for hosting the Queen of the Court series. That moment showed the respect and appreciation the players have for each other. It wasn't just about winning the competition, it was about sharing the experience together. After the matchup, the segment transitioned into something deeper, as several players talked about when they first fell in love with basketball and how their journeys started. Megan Grant explained that she grew up playing both basketball and softball, showing how her athletic background helped shape the competitive mindset she brings to the court today. Gabriela Jaquez shared a similar story, saying she also played basketball and softball growing up, which helped develop her athletic versatility and competitiveness. Amanda Muse explained that when she first started playing, she actually didn't like basketball at all and didn't want to play it. Over time, though, the game grew on her and eventually became something she truly loved and committed herself to. Jana Neepkins shared that she first realized how much she loved basketball in 8th grade, when the game really started to become something she wanted to pursue seriously. Angela Dugolich mentioned that soccer was actually her first love, but eventually basketball became the sport she connected with the most. She also talked about how playing with teammates like Lauren Betts and Kiki Rice makes the game easier because everyone understands where each other is going to be on the floor. Kiki Rice also explained that she first fell in love with basketball around 8th grade, when she realized how much she enjoyed competing and leading a team. Christina talked about how basketball has always been part of her life, and that she has essentially played the game for as long as she can remember. Sienna Betts shared that her love for basketball started from watching her father play, which inspired her to pursue the sport herself. Timer shared a similar story, explaining that growing up watching her father play basketball helped spark her own interest in the game as well. And Lena Bilic explained that she actually started playing basketball because she has 2 older sisters who played the sport. When she was younger, whatever her older sisters were doing, she wanted to copy them. Watching them practice and play made her curious about basketball, and eventually she started playing alongside them. What started as simply following her older sisters eventually became something she developed her own passion for. Hearing all of those stories adds another layer to the UCLA program. Moments like Lauren Betts being crowned Queen of the Court are fun to watch, but the personal journeys behind each player are what make the team even more interesting. It shows that every player arrived at basketball through a different path, yet now they are all competing together as part of the same program and supporting each other along the way. Moments like this highlight the culture inside UCLA, teammates competing, celebrating each other's success, and sharing the stories that brought them to the game in the first place. Hey everybody, this is Sergio Betts, and welcome back to the show, where we break down UCLA women's basketball from a structural and analytical perspective. This is not about hot takes or emotional reactions. This is about understanding what actually happened on the floor. Tonight we're talking about the dominant performance from the UCLA Bruins women in the Big Ten tournament against the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball, a game that ended with a final score of 96-45. Now, when you see a score like that, it tells you immediately that something significant happened structurally in the game. This wasn't just a close matchup or one team pulled away late. This was a complete system breakdown by one side and a complete system execution by the other. And when we look at the numbers, what stands out right away is the balance across the UCLA roster. This was not a one-player performance. This was a team performance across multiple positions. Let's start with the guard play. Kiki Rice played 30 minutes and finished with 15 points, shooting 7 of 13 from the field. What stands out about Rice in this game is not just the scoring, but the way she controlled tempo. She allowed UCLA to dictate pace and ensured that every offensive possession stayed organized. Next, you look at Charles Leger-Walker, who added 11 points while shooting 3 of 6 from three-point range. That kind of perimeter efficiency forces defenses to stretch. When a defense has to respect outside shooting like that, it opens up the rest of the offense. Another major contributor was Gianna Neepkins, who led the Bruins in scoring with 19 points, shooting 6 of 11 from the field and 4 of 8 from three. That shooting performance was critical because Iowa attempted defensive adjustments that involved collapsing into the paint, and Keatkins punished those rotations immediately. Then we moved to Gabriela Jaquez, who added 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting. That efficiency shows exactly why Jaquez is such an important piece in UCLA's lineup. She doesn't force shots, she reads the defense, and she converts high-percentage opportunities. Inside the paint, Lauren Betts provided the interior presence that anchors the entire system. She finished with 10 points in 24 minutes, shooting 5 of 9 from the field. But her impact goes beyond the scoring column. When Betts is on the floor, opposing defenses are forced to collapse toward the rim, and that creates space for UCLA shooters. Another key contributor off the bench was Sienna Betts, who delivered 14 points on 7 of 8 shooting in just 19 minutes. That level of efficiency off the bench demonstrates the depth UCLA has built this season. Depth matters in games like this, because when a team can rotate players without losing offensive rhythm or defensive discipline, the opponent has no opportunity to recover. Additional contributions came from players like Angela Dugalich, who added 7 points and 7 rebounds, helping control the boards and maintain defensive stability. Meanwhile, Lena Bilic provided efficient minutes as well, scoring 6 points while shooting a perfect 2 for 2 from the field and 2 for 2 from three-point range. When you step back and look at the overall numbers, the story becomes very clear. Multiple UCLA players scored in double figures. The Bruins shot efficiently across the roster, and the offense remained balanced from start to finish. But the real story of this game wasn't just offense, it was defense. Holding Iowa to 45 points in a conference championship setting tells you that UCLA controlled the entire flow of the game. Iowa struggled to create consistent scoring opportunities, and the Bruins maintained defensive pressure from the opening possession until the final minutes. This is the kind of performance that reflects the program culture built by Corey Close. Her teams are structured, they're disciplined, and they understand their roles. Every player knows where they fit in the system, And when that system is operating at full efficiency, when the guards control tempo, when the forwards stretch the floor, when the post players anchor the paint, and when the bench contributes productive minutes, UCLA becomes extremely difficult for any opponent to compete with. That's what we saw in this game. This wasn't just a win. This was a demonstration of how a complete roster executes when every piece of the system is functioning together. And if UCLA continues to perform at this level moving forward, they will remain one of the most difficult teams in the country to challenge.